I get it. This is great. I love
Okay.
learning. This is on page 7. Phil Jackson, 11 Rings. Man, if people just picked up books and learned to read from great people, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. Oh my God, we got two Natty Kings with us. Let me check in with Sam real quick because we got two Natty Kings on the call with us, and both great people. Obviously, they're great people. They're on the roster. Anyone who's on the roster is a great person. So I think we lost one of them though. So let me see. How you doing, bro? Yo, what a weekend of natural bodybuilding, huh? Like truly a great weekend. I've loved the competition. All right, let's see. Give me 1 second. I put a hoodie on thinking it was gonna be like a little cold, but I don't think it's like that. Waiting for my scheduled guest to get on here. Pushing the button. Saying he's unable to join. Let's see. Let's try this again. Sometimes Instagram Live messes with you. Okay, cool. Yo, Sam, we got Domain on here. How would you like to have him on here as well?
Say that again? Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna send him the invite.
Yeah, man.
Domain, feel free to join if you would like to join. Completely up to you. I love having additional Natty Kings in the live, chatting,
Discussion.
communicating. Um, there were some things I wanted to touch on, but I'm sure you've got some things that you want to touch on as well. So I'm just excited to hear everything. How's life?
You know what? It's a new experience every single day, so I take it as it comes, and I'm excited to keep pursuing just every aspect of it. Like it's been very interesting. Relationally, business wise, the gym, new programs. Like I'm just soaking it all in. Honestly, things have been good.
That's great. That's great. Domain heard. We'll get you on the next one. Whenever you want to join, you just let us know. So it'll just be us, Sam.
Right on.
Cool, cool. I love it. So every day's a new day.
Every day is a new day, and I never set up any expectations because as soon as you set up your expectations, it's almost, if it takes a turn or it takes a different direction, you almost have this sense of you're not doing the right thing, and I don't want that feeling. So, I just absorb it as it comes.
Absolutely. Well, we can hop into it.
Yeah,
We
man.
yeah, this was scheduled. I know that there were some things that we were discussing via DM, so let's just jump into what's on your mind before we jump into, everything that's
No,
going on in my brain.
what's on my mind? Uh, Man, in what part of life, um, what's on my mind? I'm almost astonished that like we're here. You know what I mean? Like I get up every single day with this sense of wanting to provide for the people around me, and what that looks like changes day to day to day to day, and it gets heavy sometimes. And like we were discussing in DMs is that breaking point sometimes, and when we feel the sense of responsibility as young gentlemen to take care of our communities, it can weigh on us, and learning how to navigate those areas is something that I'm going through right now. And it's not easy sometimes, and having these types of conversations help bring light to things. And I think that, we're doing justice by doing that right now. And what's on my mind is I don't want to force any conversation. I just want to speak openly and kind of showcase the vulnerability that not everyone has it together all the time. And even if you do fall up, it's about getting back up every single time. For example, this weekend I had some trouble kind of navigating how to go about a cheat meal, even though it's the smallest thing in the world. It was playing with my mind mentally. I was like, how do I go about this? How do I do this? How do I do that? And then I was texting my coach Leroy, and he's like, bro, just live life. And to be able to have that sense of calm and, understanding of where I come from as an athlete to coach with him, it's like, how do I explain it? To lead others, you need to have a mentor, if that makes sense. You need to have mentees and a mentor. And it's like, just because you're a mentor in your community doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable, if that makes sense.
Leroy Rollins,
Yes, Leroy Rollins.
he's your coach?
Yes, he is.
That's super cool. That's
Yeah,
super cool. I didn't know that. Man, dude, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And honestly, I feel, well, it's the truth. I'm new to the whole sports world, or like the world of sports, and I've said it multiple times in like the past year that my background is rooted in theater, cinema. I'm a cinephile and I love movies. And now that I'm integrating myself more and more into sports psychology, which is like, dude, I truly believe that it's the solution to like I talk big, but like I think it's the solution to world peace. I think sports psychology is the solution to world peace because when you think about a high functioning team and all of the moving parts on that team, each individual, when it comes to championship level performance, they all have an understanding of what their role is. And there isn't any kind of disagreement or envy of the type of value that another person on the team is providing.
yeah,
Instead, it's just gratitude.
yeah.
So when you think about like, unfortunately, when I was growing up and I would watch like a sports movie, my dumbass, I only wanted to recognize myself in the star athlete because I always saw myself as like a future movie star. So it's like I'm watching the role that I'm going to be playing when I'm in Hollywood, right? And I would
Right?
completely disregard the coach and all the other supporting characters on the team, and I'm just dialed in on that guy. Only to fast forward and understand now in like age 34 that every single person on the team plays a pivotal role in the performance of the overall team. It's like the sum of the parts
Yeah.
exceed that of the specific function. You know?
I'm listening. I hear
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
I think I'm going to add to that a little bit. I think that the wins are actually in between the lines sometimes, if that makes sense. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
those pivotal points, or even just changing the direction by communicating a certain thing, or like that's where the real win happens. It's not on the stage. It's not, winning the winning shot or the home run or the touchdown. It's, hey, you know what? I'm uncertain about this, but I have people around me that have my back. If I reach out to them and they give me their insight, that's the moment that you actually won, you know?
I couldn't agree more, man. And I wanted to share something with you that I'm starting to learn about. Like I said, I like sports psychology. I'm just discovering it. It's a game changer. It truly is. So my friend, who will also end up being my COO once this is like a fully operational business company, however you want to describe it, he has been reading Phil Jackson's book, 11 Rings.
Okay.
Phil Jackson, who has coached multiple championship level teams, Bulls first and foremost, and then the LA Lakers with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. And he's really into like Zen mastery. And literally, page 7, he's breaking down the stages of tribal leadership. Dude, can I share with you the stages of tribal leadership, because this is the framework for the Natty King and like the future of how I want the world to function.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Okay. All right. I'll be brief. Okay. So it's 5 stages. Tribal leadership has 5 stages. The first stage is despair, and that's typically seen in like street gangs. And the perspective of people within that stage one of tribal leadership is like, life sucks, we're never getting out of this situation, and we're just banding together, understanding that we're all in the same misery, all in the same boat. Like misery loves company, right? Then you got stage 2, which is apathy, which is I don't suck, but my environment sucks. The person next to me sucks, and it sucks that I'm here, but like I don't suck. Everyone else around me sucks, and this job sucks. My life sucks, right? Then stage 3 is I'm great, you're not. So that's like the dog eat dog world. That's like the social Darwinism type of psychology, where it's like you're at a work environment and you're doing everything you can to get above your peers, because you constantly think like, I'm better than everyone else here, and I'm performing at a higher level, and I'm going to prove it to everyone else that I'm better than you. Right? That's stage 3. Then stage 4 is we're all great, but you guys suck. So that's when like the team kind of bands together and understands like we're performing at a higher level, but the opposition, y'all suck, you know? And that's displayed in like, he actually gives references like he had to create that kind of community within the Lakers. First, it was like stage 3 where Kobe Bryant thinks I'm great, you guys suck. And then he had to create a culture where it's like, no, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great, and the other team sucks. So that's stage 4, right?
Right.
And then stage 5 is the final stage, which is, man, life is great. And we're just here because of how great life is. Whether you're playing a game or doing a different activity, we're doing this activity for the joy of it, for the pure desire for mastery. And that's where the tribe is playing and performing at the very highest level, because they're not worried about competition. They're just doing it for pure joy,
Hmm.
you know?
That's beautiful. No, that's great.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of that in life. Um, I guess I'm experiencing, I guess personally, I'm experiencing and I'm realizing probably the fifth stage, if that makes any sense, where I'm just starting to go. Maybe I'm not just starting, but within the last little while, I've been kind of just realizing, like, holy cow, like there's literally nothing else better to be doing right now because it's such a great time. Like we live in a world where we have consciousness, we have all the food available, we have the resources available. We're not fighting for these things. We live in a first world country, and what better things to be doing other than chasing the best version of yourself? And it's pure joy, honestly.
Yes, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you and I have been on the same wavelength since the first time that we hopped on IG Live. And now that I'm developing better ways to articulate what this wavelength is,
Hmm.
now we can actually properly strategize on how to invite other people to the same understanding. And it's that stage 5 mentality.
Stage five. That should be on a T-shirt. Stage five mentality.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, it has to be like, I mean, see, this is why I want it to be a TV show. This is exactly why I want it to be a TV show, because we can
yeah.
actually reach a larger amount of people with that kind of platform. Which is why I'm aiming for Netflix. Which is why I want it to be like a huge spectacle. Because if we can get the message across, Phil Jackson, he wrote a book, right? How many people are going to read this book? How many people, right? Compared to how many people are actually going to watch The Natty King.
Yeah.
It could be like the difference of like thousands to millions. You get what I'm saying? But we
Here, I
could
have a
still.
probing question then. I have a
Mhm.
probing question. So, do you believe that it's possible? So, let's say we get exactly what we want out of this. People are watching it, they're impacted, but they probably have to be in stage 3 or 4 to be able to successfully get to stage 5. How do we get people from stage 1 and 2 to 3 and 4? Is my real question, because a lot of people aren't as fortunate as us right now,
Mhm.
and they're living in that dog eat dog mentality still. Like
Yeah.
they're struggling and they're really not able to see that.
Yeah.
And so if we plan on traveling, if we plan on going around the world and talking to people, shaking hands and doing things, yeah, I mean, you can say, "Hey, I have this episode. Watch episode 8. It's really impactful. This might really help your life if you address it and compare it to your life properly." But how would we touch the people that can't see that yet? I think that's
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah, man. All right. So my answer, it's a huge sprawling project, but my answer is the athletes and the people who are already in stage. I'm looking at stage 4 and 5, because those are the ones that I'm excited about. Like stage
Okay.
4, we're great, you're not. I'm not even into that. I want stage 5. I want stage 5 athletes, and
Yeah.
I want a stage 5 tribe. And anyone who's a part of that stage 5 tribe who understands that life is great, my intention is to train them and transition them into humanitarians.
Right.
I actually like Joseph, so I want to see what Joseph said. Drewski followed a similar pattern, having auditions in an open format. This is a highly entertaining and audience-centered approach. Heard. And yeah, Drewski did do that very well. So anyway, so let's say we have athletes like you and we're in the stage five mentality where life is great, and we now just want to share this experience of life with other people, right? Then it will become a matter of assembling people around us that can properly train us, condition us, and get us equipped to become humanitarians across the globe. So maybe it just starts with you affecting your current community and spreading that understanding, like stage five is where it's at, life is great, join a team, become a part of a movement, which is exactly what this is, and then it's supposed to spread outwards. That's when traveling comes into play, right? So when you ask me the question, what about the people who are currently stuck in environments where there is no psychology outside of like a stage one or a stage two, which is complete despair, misery, or apathy? Life sucks and the people around me suck. We have to go into those environments. There's no other way around it.
Right. We got to plant the seed somehow.
It has to be done. So my solution is like obviously like we become the good role models, and we also identify people in those environments that we can coach up to our level as quickly as possible, and then they can start affecting it. It goes back to that last IG live that I had with Kafo, who was originally from Nigeria and he's currently in Canada. He said that the athletes who have the opportunity to leave Nigeria, they don't come back. So the environment in Nigeria sucks. They leave it, they go to Canada, they go to America, and then they start flourishing. This guy's making thousands of dollars per month, which is outside of the realm of possibility in the environment that he was being raised in. And that environment in Nigeria, it still stays stage one and stage two, right? My solution is bringing those athletes back to that environment and then having the environment raised up as a result of people understanding we can lead them away from this current perception of reality, this current perception of society. And it's going to take a huge amount of work. But it's like basically missionary work.
Yeah.
Why do people go out and like raise churches? It's for the very same reason of creating a better and more positive environment. The only difference between what we're doing is this is not religious, this is sports.
Yeah.
We're just creating opportunities. We're creating the same mindset only through sports. And personally, it's just my personal opinion that sports psychology grounds the athlete with a greater sense of purpose because they are using their entire mind, body, and spirit to perform at a higher level. As opposed to when it comes to religion, their purpose is okay, minister, be a missionary. That's very spiritual, but you're not training your body. You're not really training your mind to an extent of high performance. So that's why I'm very excited about sports psychology because it requires all of you. It requires all of you.
Excellent. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm just probing questions and I'm just kind of, hey, we're chatting, man. No, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I really feel a sense of responsibility when it comes to this project and mission because I feel like I came from a place where I didn't see it. You know what I mean? And I played sports growing up my whole life, so it's like I guess my question or my topic on this would be how if I was somebody who came from where I couldn't see that life's amazing and we can do whatever we want to do if we put our minds to it. I was already playing sports. I already had coaches. I already had these people around me. What about the sport itself is pulling that out of people?
Mm, mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is it so? For example, in bodybuilding, like I know, like when you have to diet and you have to get lean and you have to prepare for a specific date, those things are like numerical. They're set in stone. They're calculable. Like you can quantify these things. And I feel like when you every sport has its own like dark side. Like you have to diet really hard to find that like spiritual level of understanding towards your sport, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
For bodybuilding. And in like in hockey or baseball or soccer or these other sports, I don't think that really exists because I didn't experience that until I transferred into a sport where it took mind, body, spirit, and soul. So I guess I'm just kind of communicating that. natural bodybuilding is probably the best route. And I guess I'm kind of figuring that out in real time as I'm kind of openly
Yeah.
discussing it. That like you can shoot a puck in a net, or you can have the coaches all available, but I don't think any of those sports really push you to the point that you self-reflect enough to be able to understand that it's bigger than what you're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, why do you think I'm super excited about this project? You know,
Yeah.
like I'm stoked about this project. The only question that I still don't have an answer for is how do we unify? Because prior to this particular project, bodybuilding was pretty solo. It's like a solo journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the clearest example of that was displayed in Magazine Dreams, which was a bodybuilding film that came out a couple of months ago starring Jonathan Majors. Michael Hearn was also in the film. And it shows the exact opposite of what the Natty King is supposed to represent: an athlete who has a mental illness, um, definitely on some sort of spectrum, experienced a traumatic incident in his childhood, and now has developed this obsession with greatness, to be recognized, to be seen. Will take steroids, will do whatever he thinks it's required to get on a stage and win a title, because he thinks that matters. And
Mm-hmm.
he just wants to be included. He wants to be a part of something. And as a result, that isolation is crippling him. It handicaps him, right? The Natty King is supposed to be the exact opposite of that experience of integrating yourself into this community and pursuing greatness within the sport. He's choosing steroids, isolation, and dealing with issues of self acceptance. Whereas the Natty King is, dude, you're already awesome. Look at you. You have the opportunity to chase greatness, and you get to chase it with brothers in arms and sisters once we get to the Natty Queen.
Yeah.
And again, and this is the whole stage 5 mentality. Like, dude, we've done it. We have arrived at this place in our lives where the only thing we get to focus on, what a privilege, is our own personal excellence. This is a privilege, you know? So then it's creating that opportunity for that privilege for everyone.
Hmm.
What up, Valley? It looked like you were about to say something.
I was. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
I don't like to rush responses too
Of
quickly.
course, dude. Like, this is a very exciting time. It's almost like I'm on. Like, I want you to know, like, we're totally right there, because it's crazy. It's like it's
Yeah.
very profound.
It is. It is. And I think it's more it's a lot more profound than I think that sometimes I give credit to, because the day-to-day bustle hustle still exists. You know what I mean? As much as you want to always be available to help, we're also working on our own projects within ourselves. And I think that's the hardest part that this project brings out of me, or us, is like we're figuring it out as time comes. This isn't like we have the answer already. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like this is all coming as we go, and
yeah,
that's the coolest part about it. So I guess I honestly just wanted to hop on this live because I didn't really. If there's one end of the spectrum, there's another end of the spectrum. So that's kind of what I wanted to highlight mostly was, yes, we're doing, I think, God's work in a sense. Like we're communicating this great opportunity, this great, life we have, and we have a sport that can get us there, and we have the people around us that can get us there. We have the information that can get us there. But we're all human at the end of the day,
hmm
you know? And I think more so I just wanted to hop on because we talked about like breaking points and stuff and how to deal with those things. And I think personally, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking a lot these days, you
yeah,
know?
man. I mean, that's what I'm here for, and that's what, honestly, that's what this community and that's what this Natty team is supposed to be here for. And
Yeah.
like I'll always be available. Like that's the whole point of this whole thing. Like I will always be available, because this is the tribe. This is the
Yeah.
state 5 tribe. Like life is
Yes.
great, and we should always commune and touch base with each other to just do like a freaking temperature check. It's like,
Yeah.
how's life
Yeah.
going on your end?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that doing it more often and showcasing that ability to do so, like, will kind of just get other people to relax and chill. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't have too much to say, to be completely honest with you. I guess more so, I'm just soaking in the fact that these opportunities are kind of in front of us, and how to navigate them becomes complicated at points. So I guess maybe I'm just at my own little breaking point, and that's why we're discussing. Who knows?
Dude, I personally think I couldn't like I feel like I say I couldn't agree more with you too often just because like when you meet someone who's on the same wavelength, like what else is there to say? But I've noticed there's like highs and lows to this whole thing, right? There's like peaks
Yeah.
and valleys. This past week I've gone through something that has felt like a valley, where obviously like I'm incredibly enthusiastic about the future and it's incredibly bright and I
Mm.
very similar to you, I feel like we are doing the Lord's work. I truly do. It feels like that. Doesn't change the fact that there's moments where it's like, man, I wish that I was financially stable, you know, and I could make decisions based off of having an abundance of resources. And I know that those resources will be available in the future, but they're not available right now. And I can only do what's within my current means. And that can be like, I can't move fast enough. I can't.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
You're actually hitting it hard,
yeah.
right there. It's like, it's almost like the effort level is always a maximum. Like, there's never a time, like, no matter high, low, like how you're feeling, the effort level is a maximum, but it feels like it's just not enough. I can't
Right.
give more because there's so much more to attain and get to be able to then transfer it back out into the world. But time only goes so fast, and resources can accumulate only so quickly. And it's like, that's the frustrating wall. Like, it's moving forward and you're getting somewhere, but sometimes you just have to be your own cheerleader more than you think, you know? And I guess this project has really pulled that out of me. It's like, lots of people have been asking me, like, what is this project about? Why are you so enthusiastic about it? Like, what makes you want to change the world in this way? Like, what makes you think you can do that? Because I know who you used to be in the past. So I guess, like, a lot of people around me are now noticing this certain environment that I'm trying to create that I've always wanted inside. And it's hard to convince or showcase it with, I have so much in mind, but it's like it's not happening quite yet. So it's like when I'm talking to these people, it's just not quite translating. And I think that's the frustrating valley I'm in, is like the translation of the what's going on in here to what I know is possible and what these people, you know what I mean?
I do. And my advice, this is the advice that I take. When in doubt, hone yourself. Go
Yeah.
back to honing. And as a natural bodybuilder who is on the Natty King roster, there's so many different things that you can do on a daily basis to focus on yourself and continue to develop your skills as an athlete. You've got posing, you've got training, you've got cardio, you've got mindset, you've got meditation, which kind of like connects with mindset. And we call it like I think I've already kind of alluded to it, but if we're aiming for an anime that's supposed to take place 20 years in the future, right?
Mm.
I'm a big picture thinker, right? Personally, if we were to use the Arnold Schwarzenegger blueprint and see how like he transitioned from the face of the sport of bodybuilding into a movie star and a global phenomenon. He was a global phenomenon at one point, and then he transitioned into politics. We can literally take that same framework and replicate it for any athlete who so desires. And what
Yeah.
does that look like? It's basically a leadership framework. It's a leadership blueprint. And when you consider it from that perspective, what you are is a leader. And there are so many different ways to hone those skills because now we're not even talking about natural bodybuilding. Like, what does a leader do? They persuade and they influence and they create a feeling of, wow, life is worth living, and I want to listen to this person. So that's and you already watched the. I mean, like for one, kudos to you. Thank you for taking the time to like do additional research outside of just these individual conversations. I know that you've watched the conversations I've had with Yoshi, who's definitely a future Natty King athlete. I'm definitely probably going to bring him on in 2026, just
Heck
because of the amount of value beyond just his physique. Like we're looking for stars, we're looking for leaders, and he is a leader. He is looking to promote posing in a way that is just completely being uh, dismissed within the sport.
10, 20, 30 years ahead of everything.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, exactly, exactly. So like you already know about like the pathos, ethos, and logos. That is a methodology of perfecting your leadership.
Mm.
If you refine those skills, logos, persuasion through logic, pathos, persuasion through emotion, and ethos, persuasion through credibility and values, just meditate on that for a second and take your time to understand what does that mean to you and where are you deficient in those. Are you deficient in your persuasion with emotion, logic, or values? And you can work on those things, and you can spend time daily thinking about that and applying that to your posing, applying that to the way that you speak online to people in your community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
And I
listening.
yeah, and I say all that to say like I fall into the same valleys of like, man, like I want to change the world now because there are people
Yeah.
suffering right
Yeah.
now. There are
Yeah.
people in
Yeah.
like disadvantaged environments where they are oppressed, subjugated, and do not have the perspective that there is a brighter future ahead. And
It's
it breaks my
frustrating.
heart.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. And I think, uh, like when we first discussed and we kind of, hit things off, and, when we had introduced the idea that, like you're young, there's lots for you to learn, you know, for you to grow in this sport, like you have the potential. Like, I know I have the potential, and I'm literally just like, it's kind of like a locked box, and I'm like hacking at it from every single different angle because I know it's all in there. And I think reflecting in real time, trying to access that potential means discussing things like openly right now that I'm not necessarily, like, I don't have the answers to. Like, I don't have the answers to most things, and I want to learn and be a student, but also the leader at the same time. So I guess if I can really round off where my mind's at right now, is it's more like I have the desire to reach my full potential, to impact the most amount of people I can, and navigating those frustrations and navigating those environments is new to me, and I'm digging it because you're you're listening, and I don't think I've had a soundboard that's so understanding for the longest time. And I think it's important that people seek people that see things the same way and really openly communicate that they need to, like, there needs to be expansion. There needs to be
Mhm.
expansion. Like, this might just all sound like crazy bozo wow, like, magical stuff here, but it's like I know what I feel inside,
Mhm.
and maybe it's not translating on how I'm communicating it right now, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
man.
there.
Yeah. I always say like with the platforms that we're creating for ourselves, there is a very seamless transition between how you move on stage when you're competing as a natural bodybuilder and how you speak to the masses. And the intention is to create that seamless blend where we just see it as an extension. The person that you are performing, conditioning, the discipline that you're displaying when you're going through prep, we create that seamless blend as to like that's the same guy who's inspiring millions to
Yeah.
also pursue the best version of themselves, you know. So I definitely highly recommend journaling because with what your specific intentions are, the better you are at articulating your thoughts and feelings, and again it goes back to logos, pathos, and ethos because that's the art of persuasion. The better you are at articulating your thoughts and feelings, the better you'll be able to influence other people and persuade them to pursue their own excellence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm. I'm also really excited. Like, I think these conversations are so great, but like, man, I can't wait to better understand the roles of women in this movement because like I feel like I'm just like scratching the surface and I don't know like when you think about like sports in general when you really think about sports in general it's always like men over here women over here like
Right.
NBA WNBA the Natty King and the Natty Queen but like when you think about like the difference are the NBA athletes supporting the WNBA athletes? Like, are they? You know, like, could there be like a better way to integrate both genders into one specific sport? And
That's a
that's what I'm
cool
really
topic.
interested. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it, because it's like,
Well, think of
yeah,
like family too, right? Like family, like men
see,
and
yes,
like men and women, like this is not, it's a unit, right? So the fact that the family unit and the biological units work so well in unison, it's like how could we just separate the sports like that? That doesn't really make any
it's
sense.
really silly. It's really silly.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this is like, I've never had this thought that I'm about to share right now, but like, Yoshi, again, shout out to Yoshi. Like, he's even preparing a choreographed posing routine with his girlfriend.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like it's there, and then again, I'm just speaking out loud.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got the Olympics, and you've got figure skating. You've got male figure skating, female
Yep.
figure skating, and then you've got couple figure skating,
Hmm.
right? So like we've got the Natty King, and then we've got the Natty Queen, and then you know,
So what do you think about expanding women's routines? That like you know how there's fitness and they do like more of the acrobatics, they do more of the, you know, that style posing. But for example, like in the Natty King right now, so far we're looking at classic physique bodybuilding. On the women's side of things, they don't necessarily have posing routines.
so
So
yeah,
how,
mhm.
go ahead.
Well, they do. It's just not many female athletes are competing in that division. It's called women's physique.
Fair.
Yeah, it's the women's physique division. But like that division, like women aren't going into that division. They're doing bikini and wellness. So I don't have a solution yet.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking on that too because maybe the value, it doesn't, that maybe this sounds unpolitically correct, but the value that I feel like bodybuilders bring to the stage when it comes to the posing routines is immense. Like that is the focal point. Like it's art. It's art in motion. Do you think that the role that the women in the Natty King or Natty Queen would play wouldn't be as simple as that and it would be more of a subliminal role?
Hmm.
Do you see the
Hmm.
idea I'm getting
Yeah,
at?
yeah,
Like it's like I don't want to say like there's a focal point and then there's like, you know, second place because that's not how I want to compare this to.
yeah.
But it's like, do you think that like the hmm, I don't know how to really
I
get that
I
idea out
think
yet.
it's yeah, and it's forming. I personally want to interview more female athletes within the sport to get their perspective.
Yeah.
Very similar to like at the onset before like the Natty King was even a twinkle in my eye. Bodybuilders were thinking, just bodybuilders in general, the majority of them were thinking, hop on steroids, get to the Mr. Olympia stage, and feel fulfilled. And again, that's magazine dreams. That's Jonathan Majors like in that film. Like take steroids, get an IFBB pro card, go to the Mr. Olympia stage. It's very, very linear, right? And from my perspective, it's like the same thing where the IFBB Pro League, they created this like incentive to compete as a bikini or compete as a wellness if you have the physique for those two divisions. And like that's where the marketability is, that's where the sponsors are, right? And as a result, you've got all these female athletes who are going in those divisions, taking steroids if like they think that they need to take steroids, and it's typically advised by their coaches because like at the end of the day, it's like the coaches who are telling them to take these steroids. So we're just honestly, I want to interview more athletes, and I just want to suggest like, hey, if there was another route, like if you had an opportunity to be a bit more expressive with your posing routine, because this has been done before. Pumping Iron 2, which is specifically focused on the women. I believe it was in 1985. All those athletes were doing like very creative, very
Hmm.
expressive posing routines. So like it's been explored. We can just bring it back. And the only reason that it's not being explored at that level anymore is because of the damn leaders of the sport, the organizers, the people who are in charge and like are doling out money and opportunities and sponsorships. They're the ones who have marginalized that version of female bodybuilding.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I had a thought for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we're leaders in our communities and we're showing that this route of life is possible if you
Stage
cross
five.
cross your T's and dot your I's,
Yeah.
what does that look like on the female side and the lifestyle side? Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
understand? Like we
Mm-hmm.
practice posing, we go to the gym, we do those things because we have a stage to do it on where that's actually being expressed right now. But that route is actually kind of capped in a sense from the female side because let's say they can practice their posing all they want in the same ways we do per se,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no actual. So remember when we were discussing that the stage is only really a time to showcase the hard work that's behind the
Correct.
scenes.
Yeah.
How do the women do that if they don't have routines and have that yet? Like,
Yeah.
I guess interview more and discuss it more and break it down.
Yeah.
I guess you kind
Yeah.
of answered that question, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to deep dive that way. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no, you're onto something. I mean, in the best ideal scenario, things play out exactly how it is in our heads. Then it would be the Natty King in 2028 and then the Natty Queen in 2029. And personally, I actually see the Natty Queen being a bit more sprawling than the Natty King docuseries because I personally think that it would be a really cool opportunity to kind of capture athletes in different divisions, still putting the greatest emphasis on the ones who are choosing to do like women's physique specifically, the big elaborate creative expressive posing routines, but also highlighting individuals in bikini and wellness. And I, I haven't figured it out yet and I have some time, but like I would like to kind of create the perception where like they're all providing value,
Right.
and the athletes that are choosing to do women's physique and really express themselves, because at the end of the day, the value of elaborate posing routines is self-expression, and
Right.
it's that opportunity to do persuasion through movement, persuasion through pathos, ethos, and logos, right? So obviously like those athletes who are choosing to compete in that way, they get they get like a different kind of emphasis, right? But I'm still looking to figure out like, okay, so where do the wellness and the bikini competitors, where do they come in? Because
Yeah.
I think they're cool, you know. I just I don't think it's their fault that like the sport started rewarding those divisions more than women's physique. I don't think it's their fault. You know, it's in the same way that I don't think it's like the fault of an athlete who was convinced to take steroids because that was the only route to experience greatness in the sport of bodybuilding. It's not their fault, you
Hmm.
know. So
No, I'm listening. I'm
yeah.
listening. I think
Yeah.
that's an interesting topic because I feel like if I think everyone's potential is endless. Like it's
Mhm.
like expressing yourself is never going to end. If anything, if you express yourself to your fullest and you're actually living there, like I think there's like a life after life. Like
Mm,
so
well said.
if we can express ourselves fully, I guess I'm caught up on this like it's like almost like a full circle question. It's like right now I feel like I'm boundless. I have zero cap on what I can become. It's just time in between that. I feel like there's people out there that they they don't quite understand what it means to be able to express themselves fully because of like you said, the judging rules, the environment, the way the sport's been laid out. How can we what areas can we focus on to push people to develop in if they can't actually fully express themselves that way yet on stage?
We've got to probe. We've got to probe, and like I don't think I can interview enough female athletes over the next couple of years. I don't think I can, and obviously I've got limited bandwidth, and I can't wait to have, like, again, it goes back to like you gotta work within your means currently, and there's always going to be more work to do. I mean, this is like we're talking about like world changing stuff.
I have an idea.
Hmm.
You know how we were just discussing previously that everybody, once you're operating in level 5 mentality, everybody kind of plays a part that gels well together. That, what if we speak to coaches that have a bunch of females on their rosters? Like, what if we, like, there's one coach that comes to mind. I don't quite know his name, but he's like the lead of the bikini athletes. Like, I think it's like Team Atlas or something like that.
Okay. Hmm.
There's a guy out there that coaches like hundreds of bikini athletes, hundreds of wellness athletes, if not more. And he's kind of the psychology soundboard behind those athletes because he's the one helping them. I feel like that would be quite beneficial to get someone like that on.
I think it'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I
Because he's
mhm.
playing that role that isn't the active athlete right now. So he's seeing it from such a different perspective that I don't
Bird's
even
eye.
think
Yeah.
we can even grasp right now because we can try and compare like apples to apples, but it's like it's not apples to apples. Like it's
Yeah.
not like the men do this in this side of the sport, the women do this in this side of the sport, and they're equivalent. It's like they're
Hmm.
just both so different that if, like, let's say my coach Leroy, like, he has an outside perspective of like the men's bodybuilding side of things and can be a great person to bounce ideas off. But yeah, yeah,
I think that's a great idea. Um, yeah, I'm all
start
for it.
start with like coaches maybe,
Hmm.
kind of discuss with them because yeah, I don't know.
I
Interesting though.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think talking to coaches and female athletes, that's definitely the move. I love what Yoshi's doing because that's exactly the direction I want to take it in. Where it's like you've got male athletes, you've got female athletes, they're doing their own thing over here, they're doing their own thing over here, and then we bring them together, and then it becomes like a couples competition. Dude, it's endless. The opportunity, and then again, this is all about integration. This is all about bringing people together and unification. So that kind of strategy, it's like this is exactly where we want to take it. So
Very interesting.
I'm shoot, man. I gotta get ready for church, but you
Oh
already
man.
know. You already know.
No, I already know. No, I already know. I think there wasn't too much of a real objective on this call. I think more so it was just expressing ourselves where we're at in real time, and I
Yeah.
think that's super important to uh, to feel okay about because I think if we don't discuss these things and kind of break out different ways throughout conversation, we'll never really get anywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep, like I said, it's like a locked box, and I want to keep attacking it until the final product of what we see in our heads comes to fruition.
Yeah, and I also keep in mind like I'm very I don't know if I've said this to you, but like I'm very grateful for you specifically because and again like I can drop names like Yoshi, you, Eric, who's not even officially on the roster because he's doing men's physique, but Eric Sawatan, he's also in Canada, but like you guys are developing a depth of attachment to this project.
Hmm.
And it's that depth that I'm looking for because that's what actually creates a movement. Scalability comes after depth. But if
Yeah,
we have like tens and tens and hundreds of people who are like emotionally invested in the success of this project, imagine the type of global impact that can create, you know?
yeah,
So like I'm incredibly grateful for people like you. And I say all this to say that again, we're looking to like reverse engineer the success of an anime that takes place 20 years in the future. By the time that anime takes place in 2048, you have to imagine the type of creativity because it's already been solidified as a success. We've already gone on Netflix. We've already done the Natty King and Natty Queen a couple of times. We've done all of this stuff. So the athletes who are competing in 2048, they're having conversations like these and beyond because they already know it's a sure thing. They don't
yeah,
have to worry about like, oh, is this going to work out? Is this going to happen? Because
yeah,
it's already happened.
yeah.
So like
No,
these
that's
conversations need to happen so that the future can happen.
well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, your
Cool.
time means everything to me, man. Your time means absolutely everything to me. You know, what else to say? Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep
Yeah, man.
discussing. Let's keep breaking open topics. Let's
Yeah.
keep trying to, keep the movement going
Yeah.
and really just showcase, what's possible because we know it is, and it's just about getting it out there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm here anytime. This fuels me. This puts water in my cup, and then I get to keep pouring it out. So it's like a circle. You already said it. It's like a circle.
Yep. Right
Cool.
on.
Cool.
Hey,
All
well,
right.
I'm glad we discussed. Let me know what's up, and I'm sure we'll be in contact.
Yeah, man. I'm down. I will talk to you soon. Have a great Sunday.
You too.
All right, bro.